How green tea may prove to be a powerful cancer killer.
Troy, and why green tea can help contribute to a healthy body in a number of ways. Prior studies show a daily cup may improve brain function and even fighting obesity. Now scientists say the traditional Chinese drink could hold the key to beating cancer. According to researchers at the Rensselaer Polytechnic Institute, green tea may switch on a gene called p53, which blocks the development of tumors. The protein destroys damaged cells or stops them dividing as repairs are carried out. It is mutated or inactivated in most types of cancer. An antioxidant found in green tea, however, improves its efficiency, the study shows. Study authors say their finding offers hope of a drug that mimics epigallocatechin gallate, or EGCG, the main active compound. Both p53 and EGCG molecules are extremely interesting, says Chunyi Wang, a corresponding author of the study, in a statement. Mutations in p53 are found in over 50% of human cancer, while EGCG is the major antioxidant in green tea, a popular beverage worldwide. Now we find there is a previously unknown, direct interaction between the two, which points to a new path for developing anti-cancer drugs. Our work helps to explain how EGCG is able to boost p53's anti-cancer activity, opening the door to developing drugs with EGCG-like compounds. How p53 is a cancer kryptonite. Wang considers p53 as arguably the most important protein in human cancer. The natural cancer-fighting protein was hailed the guardian of the genome after its discovery in 1979. One end, known as the N-terminal domain, has a flexible shape, enabling it to serve several functions. A state-of-the-art scanning technique called nuclear magnetic resonance spectroscopy shows EGCG protects it from degradation. The plant chemical, found in abundance in green tea, is also sold as a herbal supplement. It helps undo constant harm caused by oxygen metabolism. The study, published in Nature Communications, identifies the specific mechanism for the first time. After production within the body, p53 quickly breaks down when the N-terminal domain comes into contact with a protein called MDM2, keeping quantities low. Both EGCG and MDM2 bind at the same place on p53, the N-terminal domain, so EGCG competes with MDM2, says Wang. When EGCG binds with p53, the protein is not being degraded through MDM2, so the level of p53 will increase with a direct interaction with EGCG. That means there is more p53 for anti-cancer function. This is a very important interaction. Green tea can unlock new anti-cancer drugs. The study raises hopes of a new generation of anti-cancer drugs that work by boosting p53 activity. It controls the cell cycle. When functioning properly, it activates DNA repair mechanisms and prevents cells with damaged DNA from dividing. If DNA damage is irreparable, p53 induces the cell to destroy itself by undergoing apoptosis, or programmed cell death. When p53 is turned off by mutation or deletion, cells are much more likely to become cancerous, because they will divide uncontrollably even when DNA is damaged. Since it is commonly switched off in human cancers, reactivating it could potentially provide a powerful way of treating the disease in the future. The findings also shed fresh light on the benefits of green tea. It has been shown to help prevent a host of diseases including cancer, heart disease and diabetes, and halve the risk of dementia. A study of over 100,000 older Chinese people found those who drank at least 3 cups of green tea a week were 25% less likely to die over the next 7 years. Green tea has been consumed in China for 4,000 years for its beneficial health qualities.
Active ingredient in green tea strengthens the brain, body.
Bethesda, MD. Green tea has long been touted for its role in helping to prevent conditions from Alzheimer's disease to cancer. Now a recent study shows it carries an ingredient that helps reduce memory loss, brain insulin resistance, and one's risk for obesity, too. Research released by the Federation of American Societies for Experimental Biology shows that epigallocatechin 3 gallate, EGCG, a biologically active ingredient prevalent in green tea, could alleviate high-fat, high fructose-induced insulin resistance in the brain, as well as cognitive impairment. Green tea. While previous research has identified EGCG as a way to treat many diseases in humans, this latest study shows a positive impact on insulin resistance and cognitive defects triggered in the brain by an average Western diet. Green tea is the second most consumed beverage in the world after water, and is grown in at least 30 countries, explains researcher Xu Abelu. In a media release, the ancient habit of drinking green tea may be a more acceptable alternative to medicine when it comes to combating obesity, insulin resistance, and memory impairment. Liu and his research team divided 3-month-old male mice into 3 groups. 1 a control group fed a standard diet, 1 fed a high fructose and high fat diet, and 1 fed a high fructose and high fat diet and 2 grams of EGCG per liter of drinking water. After 16 weeks, the researchers weighed the mice and tested them with a water maze. The group of mice fed EGCG and a high-fat diet weighed less than the control group and significantly less than the high-fat-only group. In the water maze test, the EGCG and high-fat high-fructose group outperformed the other groups, demonstrating its ability to preserve memory. The full study was published online in the FACE journal.
Green tea may strengthen gut health, protect against obesity.
Columbus, Ohio, green tea may pack a powerful punch in the gut, at least when it comes to fighting obesity and maintaining strong intestinal health, a new study finds. Researchers from The Ohio State University tested the effects of green tea extract on mice consuming a high-fat diet and discovered that the rodents gained less weight and showed improved gut health compared to those not taking the supplement. The authors say that chemicals found in green tea may help prevent what's known as a leaky gut, a condition in which toxins and harmful bacteria are able to slip through a weakened intestinal wall. Scientists believe gut health may dictate numerous health conditions, and the makeup of one's gut microbiota, the collection of both healthy and unhealthy bacteria in our intestines, can improve or worsen the chances of developing various ailments. This study provides evidence that green tea encourages the growth of good gut bacteria, and that leads to a series of benefits that significantly lower the risk of obesity, says lead author Richard Bruno, a professor of human nutrition at the university, in a media release. For their research, Bruno and his co-authors fed groups of male mice either a high-fat diet or normal diet, and included 2% green tea extract in both over a period of 8 weeks. As a control, they did the same with 2 other groups of mice, but did not add the green tea. They found that the mice fed a high-fat diet with a green tea supplement gained 20% less weight, and lower insulin resistance, and less intestinal inflammation, a sign of stronger gut health, than those consuming fatty meals without the supplement. Researchers also say that green tea prevented toxic bacteria from being absorbed into the rodent's bloodstream, an indication of a less leaky gut. Mice that consumed the regular diet with green tea also showed the weight gain benefits and signs of healthier gut bacteria, but not to the same extent as the mice in the high-fat group. Bruno and his colleagues are now researching how green tea could benefit a leaky gut in humans, particularly those prone to developing diabetes and heart disease. Though the results from the mouse study are promising, he notes that the amount of green tea consumed by the mice would be comparable to a person drinking 10 cups of green tea in a single day. Taking a green tea supplement likely won't offer the same benefits as the beverage. Consuming a little throughout the course of a day with food, like the mice did in this study, might be better, he says. In the meantime, Bruno is hopeful his work will lead to more options for adults who consume poorer diets or are concerned about their weight. 2/3 of American adults are overweight or obese, and we know that just telling people to eat less and exercise more isn't working. It's important to establish complementary health-promoting approaches that can prevent obesity and related problems, he says.
The key to a long, healthy life lies within the gut, study finds.
Montreal, the world of life deep within our bellies may hold the key to many happy, healthy years ahead. Experiments on fruit flies showed increased lifespan after the addition of probiotics and an herbal supplement, suggesting that our own lifespans might be affected by our microbiome, the ecosystem of bacteria and other microorganisms living in each of our digestive tracts. In case you're wondering how humans can even be compared to the tiny insect, scientists say the biochemical pathways of fruit flies are likened to those of mammals, with about a 70% similarity. Every human has a unique microbiome, which helps break down food and ward off sicknesses. Researchers believe the dietary additions protected the flies from chronic diseases that otherwise would have run rampant among them as they aged. Scientists at McGill University in Canada fed fruit flies probiotics and an herbal supplement called Triphylla. The flies that were given this combination of supplements lived 60% longer, an average of 66 days, which was about 26 more days than those that weren't fed them. Probiotics dramatically change the architecture of the gut microbiota, not only in its composition but also in respect to how the foods that we eat are metabolized, says senior author Satya Prakash, professor of biomedical engineering in McGill's Faculty of Medicine, in a university release. This allows a single probiotic formulation to simultaneously act on several biochemical signaling pathways to elicit broad beneficial physiological effects, and explains why the single formulation we present in this paper has such a dramatic effect on so many different markers. The authors warn that humans shouldn't expect to see a 60% longer lifespan with similar dietary changes, but there still could be some significant benefit. The effects in humans would likely not be as dramatic, but our results definitely suggest that a diet specifically incorporating Triphylla along with these probiotics will promote a long and healthy life, says Prakash. Triphylla is derived from 3 fruits used in a form of traditional Indian medicine. Many people tout its ability to help reduce pain, inflammation, and prevent various diseases. At the onset of this study, we were hopeful that combining Triphylla with probiotics would be at least a little better than their individual components in terms of physiological benefit, but we did not imagine how successful this formulation would be, says Susan Westfall, the study's lead author.